Let's discuss the difference between the most popular dependency managers in JavaScript world and their main features. NPM, Node Package Manager, default package manager for Node.js. Yarn, yet another resource navigator, which was created to improve some performance and security issues in NPM. PNPM, Performant NPM. Currently, all of them have pretty similar feature set, but still there are some differences. NPM is installed by default. Yarn and PNPM you need to install by yourself. Different locking mechanism. We need locking to ensure that all environments are the same, so we make a file with description of all installed packages for the project and their versions. In NPM we have package log.json. There will be all the installed packages and their versions plus dependencies. In Yarn we have yarn log, and in PNPM we have PNPM log YAML. Installing new packages. PNPM installs packages from online registry and installs one after another. Yarn tries to install it from the cache on the local machine, and if the cache empty, then it will go online, and it can also install dependencies in parallel. In PNPM there is one storage for all packages, so you don't need to download the same dependency for each project. Security and licensing. NPM, Yarn, and PNPM are currently equal in terms of security, and they give the same notes about the same packages. But for licensing, in Yarn and PNPM we have additional tool. We'll output to the console about licenses for all the packages. Does the same. Currently in Yarn and PNPM you will get shorter and cleaner output. All package managers does support workspaces. Workspaces help you to properly link to the packages that are located in the same repository. About monorepos will be one of the next videos, so do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Performance depends on your project and what you do with it. There are many different tests, and what is usually you can see, PNPM is usually faster, while NPM is the slowest in the most cases. But overall, very often the speed difference is not something that will save you a lot of time. Also, it's worth mentioning the most distinguishing points about each manager. In Yarn, they have main priority on workspaces and plug and play, plus some features that are in beta at the moment. In this install mode, which is used by default starting from Yarn 2.0, Yarn generates a single file instead of using a node models folder containing copies of various packages. This file contains various maps, one linking package names and versions to their location on the disk, and another one linking package names and versions to their list of dependencies. With these lookup tables, Yarn can instantly tell node where to find any package it needs to access, as long as they are part of the dependency tree, and as long as this file is loaded within your environment. The generated file can be committed to your repository as part of the zero install effort, removing the need to run yarn install in the first place. Mainly, it makes Yarn somewhat similar to PNPM. It now tries to link all files not in node models, but get all the files from its cache. Now all the files should be located in one folder, and Yarn does management of this cache by itself. By default, it uses local cache for each repository, so you can include this Yarn cache folder into your repository, and then it should work as a zero install repository. If you don't want to use local cache, you can set enable global cache to true in the settings file. Why you can include cache in your repository? Yarn creates just one file for each dependency, so it significantly reduces the amount of files and their size compared to node models. At the same time, in PNPM, one of the main advantages is disk space. There is one storage for all packages, so you don't need to download the same dependency for each project. When you update already installed dependency, it will download only updated files and not the whole package. You will have access only to direct dependencies from node models. For example, in NPM and Yarn of the first version, there was all dependencies in a flat way in node model folder. With PNPM, you will have access only to direct dependencies. It also contains some improvements for workspaces. PNPM also lets you install packages with custom names. It can be useful if you create your own fork and publish it to NPM, so you can install your fork with original name, and there is no need to refactor already written code. Or you may want to install two versions of the same library, so you can just use different names. Support for tab completion without plugins. Full list of feature comparison of NPM, Yarn, and PNPM can be found on the official site of PNPM. Also, there is a comparison of performance. In terms of comments, all these tools are pretty similar. As a summary, I would say that for the most cases, it doesn't matter which tool you will use. Performance can vary depending on your project, but usually PNPM and Yarn are better. In other things, you should look at the list of features for each tool and choose what has the needed features for your project.